I'm here at one of our local Kroger stores today, and I'm eating some really nice seafood for our show today. With me, I have Bennett Sowers. He's our lead seafood clerk in this store. Bennett, how you doing, buddy?
Good, Steve. How are you today?
I'm doing great, man. Good to see you again.
Good to see you. What can I help you with?
Well, I'm going to be working with scallops and shrimp today. What is your best shrimp you got today? Your biggest and baddest?
Steve, we've got the Easy Peel 1315 white shrimp. Be great.
Awesome. Oh,
nice.
Give me about a pound of that.
All right, we're going to give you about a pound. All righty.
I'm going to be making some Szechuan shrimp with these things.
That sounds great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. We got a pound, Steve.
Sounds good to me.
What else can I get for you, Steve?
Well, and I'm also going to need some really nice sea scallops, preferably all the same size. These look great right here.
Okay, I have the dry pack. They smell like the ocean.
Oh, yeah. That's the way you know they're fresh.
Yes, sir.
You just need about 6 of them.
Have you about 12 ounces?
That sounds good. I think we got all we need.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good to see you. You come back now.
Oh, I will. And next time I come in here, I'm getting this snapper.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good. Have a good day.
I got my shrimp, got my scallops. I think we got everything we need. We'll see you back at Plow and Hearth. Okay, I'm back here at Plow and Hearth with these scallops I just got from our Kroger seafood department. And it's just what I'm looking for to make my first dish. Today, I'm making teppanyaki seared scallops. Let's get started. The first thing you do, we're going to use the nicest scallops we can find. These are big, giant sea scallops, and we have them in our seafood department behind the glass, as you just saw. But one thing they do have is they have this thing called an abductor muscle, and it's right there. And what you have to do is you just pull that off. Now, what that is, if you eat that, I mean, it's okay, it won't hurt you, but it is very fibrous, and you can tell when you get it. So that's our first step. So what we're going to do is our pan's getting hot right here for these things. Got to have a hot pan. So I'm going to take a little peanut oil. I'm going to drizzle that in there. And I'm also going to use a little bit of sesame oil, which will impart that sesame flavor into it. Okay? So while that's getting hot for our scallops, I'm going to season these just a little bit. A little salt and a little pepper. You don't need much. Because I'm going to be using soy sauce later, so that's going to give us a little bit more of a sodium hit. Real key here, what you want to do, you want to make sure that when you put these down, you put them to where it's going away from you, because this is a hot, hot pan right now, okay? And you don't want to crowd the pan. You just want to just kind of lay them in there like such. Now, these scallops, as I mentioned, are the big ones. They take a while to cook. You don't want it on high. You want it on about medium high, okay? And they just kind of have to sit there and do their thing for a little bit. We're going to add some more stuff into it later, so let those go. And while we're doing that, I will move on to the next step. Okay, I'm going to be adding some onions, some shiitake mushrooms, and a little bit of what we call Napa cabbage, okay? But first I'm going to start with the shiitake mushrooms. I've chopped some up here. But this is what a shiitake looks like, and it has this root here, or stem, sorry. And what you want to do, you just want to pull that off because it's very fibrous, again, and you don't want to eat that. And then we'll take it, and we'll just slice it, just kind of like this. And that's shiitake mushrooms, okay? The next thing I want to do is with these green onions. Now, I'm going to use these green onions in 2 ways, okay? The first way that I'm going to use it is I'm going to use the stalk end of it to use as more of an onion flavor that's going to go in my little stir fry here. So I'm going to take the ends of it off just like that. And on a bias, I'm just going to kind of cut just like that. And that's probably enough right there. And we'll come back to these a little later, and I'll get the tips, and we'll kind of use those to garnish, so to speak. Okay? Put those on the side of the cutting board right now. Let's check our scallops. Starting to get a good sear on there, but we need a little bit more. I'm going to turn the heat up just a little bit. We don't want them to get black or anything like that. Okay? So while they're continuing to cook, I got our Napa cabbage here. And this is a very light cabbage. This is something that you can use in stir fries right at the very end. Gives you a little bit more of a body structure to your stir fry. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take it and I'm just going to cut little slices just like that. And you don't need a lot here. So we'll just start with that little bit right there. Okay? And then it kind of comes out and it's kind of like strips, but it'll break down once it hits the pan. Let's turn these scallops over. They should be ready to go. Look at that. That is a beautiful color to these things. Look at that. And that's what you're looking for. And like I said, I have some sesame oil in there as well as the peanut oil. The peanut oil will allow you to actually get some really high temperatures in here without imparting a whole lot of flavor. And you guys have been watching the show for a long time, know me. You know, I think peanut oil is one of the best oils to cook with, just for that reason. Sometimes if you use olive oil, you know, you're looking at, you know, adding that kind of flavor into it, and that's what I don't want to do. You know, one thing about these scallops, they're standalone. You know, this is a big seafood right here. They have a great flavor, so you don't want to add a whole lot to it, okay? So once I've turned them over, I've got a little bit of garlic right here. I'm just going to kind of put in the pan, about a tablespoon. And what's going to happen here is it's just going to infuse the flavor just a little bit, okay? And I've also got some ginger. You don't want to put these in the beginning of it, because if you do, what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up burning that garlic because it's so small and the pan's so hot. So once we've got it to this point, we've got it seared on one side, and these things cook very fast. We're just going to kind of put some soy sauce right in here. And this is what you do when you go to a teppanyaki restaurant. They put a little bit of soy sauce in here. You can see that. That steam will actually help cook these scallops a little more. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of put these scallops all in that nice glaze that's reducing there. Okay? And you can see there how that looks. So I'm gonna remove these real quick to the side, and we're gonna finish this up with a little bit of stir fry. Got to be careful removing these things from the pan because they will break on you very quickly. So with that all in the pan just like that, we're gonna add just a little bit more oil to it, just a tiny bit. We're gonna add our shiitake mushrooms, our green onions, and the Napa cabbage. Give it just a little bit of salt, just kind of bring the moisture out in it. And we're just going to move it around, just like this. And all that goodness that we've got on that bottom of the pan really comes off on those vegetables. Can you see that? And these don't really need to take a long time. You're looking for kind of an al dente look and feel to them, which means you don't want them to be falling apart in your mouth. You want them to actually have some structure when you actually bite into them. And see how that just wilts there really fast? Flip it up a little bit. There we go. And we're done. I'm going to turn the heat off. We'll begin to plate this thing. Now, what I want to do is I want to take some of that cabbage, green onion, and shiitake mushrooms and just kind of put them down just like that. And I've got my scallops here, and I'm going to put those just right on top, just like that. Don't those things look so good? I think everybody in here is kind of mouth-watering right now because mine are. You know what? I think these things, I was trying to get 6 on here. Let me see if I can fit 6 on here. I was trying to get them all on, but these things are so big. Thanks to our seafood department, I think I can only get 5 in there. So, in the last step, what I like to do is I like to use a little bit of sriracha because there's no heat in here. And if you just want to dab these, just with a little bit of sriracha, and then a little bit of black and white sesame seed just right on top, just like that. And there you go. Teppanyaki seared scallops. If you like these scallops, you're going to love what I'm going to do with this shrimp as CWK continues.